PE diet meals for lunch, a snack, and dinner. Here we go. Hey everyone, Timbermaster here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over some more PE diet example meals. I'm gonna show you all the ingredients for each meal, how I prep my food, and we'll go over each meal's PE ratio. And then at the end of the video, we're also gonna go over the entire day's PE ratio as well. Yes, this is going to be part of our high protein, low carb diet for weight loss, and you can 100% replicate all of these delicious meals and make some really good food choice decisions. Also, you can lose weight fast and keep that weight off for good. Now, what we're gonna do with this one is have our target weight be right around 125 pounds. And this weight actually falls in the average weights of females who are between 5'3" and 5'5". But here's the kicker, between 5'3" and 5'5" in the year 1943. So yes, back in 1943, women who were between 5'3" and 5'5" on average weighed between 112 and 150 pounds. So because of this, I just kind of arbitrarily picked 125. But don't leave if your target weight is above or below this, because all you have to do is adjust your portion sizes or consumption according to your ideal weight. And if you're not familiar with the PE diet, check this video out right here where I provide a very thorough explanation. And lastly, with all of my food choices today, I purchase everything from Costco, Whole Foods, or Trader Joe's. All right, let's start breaking everything down and get to cooking. Now for meal number one, we are gonna be having a tri-tip avocado salad with chili lime dressing. So we're gonna be having about 8 ounces of tri-tip, 4 ounces of mixed greens for our salad, about a half of an avocado, and then for our chili lime dressing, we're gonna have 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, and then about a teaspoon of lime. And for our spices, we're gonna be throwing in some salt, chili powder, cumin, smoked paprika, and cayenne pepper. Now with our tri-tip, this is actually gonna be some leftover steak that I'll be using for this salad. But when it comes to the prep, what did we do? Well, we have about 2 pounds of meat, and all we really need to do to season it is just add salt and pepper. So let's let this sit for about 45 to 60 minutes, and then we can throw it on the grill at around 350 degrees for about 6 to 8 minutes on each side, depending on how you like your meat cooked. It's seriously that easy though. Steak is actually one of my favorite foods because it's so simple, and all you need is salt and pepper to make it restaurant quality good. Nothing fancy at all. Now for our salad, let's grab several handfuls of mixed greens and place it into a large bowl. We can now start slicing our steak up and place it gently on top of our nice bed of greens. Okay, let's take our half of an avocado and start slicing it up, and we can then place that on top of our steak. Now for our dressing, let's take about 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and squeeze about a quarter of a lime into it. We'll then add some salt, some chili powder, cumin, smoked paprika, and a tiny bit of cayenne pepper. And if you really want to simplify it, don't get crazy with the spices too. Less can definitely be more. But if you do feel like jazzing up your dressing a little bit, go ahead and add some pressed garlic as well. Now let's drizzle our dressing on top of our avo steak salad and start digging in. Okay, that was meal number one. So in total, my protein was at 57 grams, my fat was at 42 grams, my carbs were at 17 grams, and I had 9 grams of fiber. So that means my PE ratio for this meal number one, was 1.14. Pretty good. Now remember, with the PE diet, we are looking at net carbs, so we're always gonna be mindful of how much fiber we're having. All right, let's go have ourselves a little snack now. Now for our snack, we're only gonna be having 8 Kalamata olives and 1 hard-boiled egg. So when it comes to making the absolute best hard-boiled eggs, this is what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna bring our water to a boil, then we're gonna lower our heat and let it simmer. We'll gently add the eggs, and then we're gonna let our eggs cook for about 9 to 9.5 minutes in this simmering water. Once our timer is up, we can then place the eggs in water directly from the faucet. And after the eggs are cooled, we can cut them open and you'll get that nice, perfect golden medium rare yolk. So now that we have some hard-boiled eggs, we have a super easy snack ready for us at any given moment. So let's grab ourselves an egg and some olives and chow down. Super fast, really easy, and simple. Now in total, our protein was at 6 grams, our fat was at 13 grams. We had 0 grams of carbohydrates, 0 grams of fiber. And now for our PE ratio. Well, that was a treacherous 0.46. Okay, let's talk about this one for a second though. Sure, this is not gonna be an ideal ratio, but if we look at this from a perspective where we're considering our insulin response to this snack, that insulin response is likely going to be very, very low, which is gonna keep us in a fat burning state. Because remember that with insulin, when we can keep our insulin levels nice and low, we're gonna be able to burn fat and use that fat as fuel. So this is also one of the very reasons why I prefer going very low carb with the PE diet. But moving on, let's see if we can recover for our next meal and see if we can actually make our PE ratio above 1.0. Who knows? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Now for meal number 2, we are going to be making ourselves a butter garlic shrimp and oven roasted asparagus. So for this meal, we're going to be having about 12 ounces of wild red Argentine shrimp. We're gonna cook that in about 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna have 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. And then we're also gonna be putting about 1 tablespoon of lemon in there. Lastly, we're gonna be having about 7 ounces of organic asparagus mixed with about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So to kick it off, let's turn our oven to 350 degrees and then we can begin snapping the asparagus ends off. Once we've done that, let's spread them evenly across our cookie sheet. And we can now take our olive oil and drizzle it on top of the asparagus. After that, let's add some salt and pepper to taste. And once the oven is ready, let's throw the asparagus in for about 15 minutes. Now with these red Argentine shrimp, we're actually gonna be cooking about 1.5 pounds of these little guys, but only eating around 12 ounces. So to start off, let's add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And as the shrimp is sitting, we can turn our fire on to about medium heat, and we can then start heating up about 2 tablespoons of butter in our pan. After the butter has been completely melted, we can then throw the 4 to 5 cloves of pressed garlic in and start to stir it around for about 1 minute. Now, once we're smelling that nice garlicky aroma, we can place that shrimp into our pan. Now, we're really only looking to cook these little guys for about 4 to 5 minutes in total, because if they get overcooked, then they're really just gonna get a little rubbery, which is not ideal. So after about 2.5 minutes, we can now flip our shrimp. And once we do this, we can then get a little creative and add some red pepper flakes to taste, a little bit of parsley, and our 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And if you want, we'll finish with throwing the last tablespoon of butter in there as well. All right, let's stir all of this up and see how it looks. Okay, let's check on the asparagus now and see how it's cooking. Great, well, it's been about 15 minutes, looks done to me. Now that we have everything finished, we can plate our shrimp and asparagus and start eating this yummy, high protein, delicious, PE diet friendly meal. Okay, really quickly though, if you like shrimp, then please hit the like button. And if you don't like shrimp though, but are still enjoying the video, then hit the like button too, because it tells YouTube that this channel and video are not terrible and that other people should be watching it. Anyway, that would be very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Now, let's break down meal number 2. All right, meal number 2 done and done. So in total, our protein was 58 grams, our fat was 51 grams, carbs were at 11 grams, and we had 4 grams of fiber. So our PE ratio for dinner was an even 1.0. Well, isn't that just neat? Okay, so now that we've finished our last meal, we can take a look at our daily total PE ratio. So we've had 121 grams of protein, 101 grams of fat, 28 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fiber. So our net carbs are at 15 grams, and this comes out to being a grand total PE ratio of 1.05. So overall, I think this has been a really good day of eating. Our PE ratio was just over 1.0, and we got really close to our protein goal of 125 grams. Actually, if we had one more piece of shrimp, we would have gotten to that goal. But we were able to keep our carbs really low, which is going to help us burn more fat due to the fact that we're not really inducing much of an insulin response. And we also had a healthy amount of vegetables, which would make grandma proud. Also, another thing with these meals is that we're likely eating less fat than what's listed in the ingredients, because it's not like we're really soaking all the oil and butter up. We're really only eating a fraction of it, which ultimately means that our PE ratio is going to be even better. And another thing to remember is that these meals can be replicated and adjusted according to your ideal weight. So it can really work for almost anyone. All right, well, if you like this video and you want to learn more about losing weight while getting healthy, subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you're interested in seeing what I eat in a day to stay fit, healthy, and full of life, then watch this video right here. Okay, thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you soon.